All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? So, like I said, 8 a.m. it is. That is going to be the daily boxing talk. Saturdays may be iffy, but not today, dog. Today we're going to cook like it's just another day. King Jr. in the building. What is good? The Brothers UK in the building. Adrian Vet, what's happening? TZ Frank, Avery Black, Tab Investments. Man, Kevin, man, what's going on? Yes, let's cook. Chris Ray said, don't forget to hit that like. Hit that algorithm for me. Yes, sir. Please do. Crush the Legend in the building. Real CD Bright, what's good? Showboating Sports. Subscribe to Showboating Sports. Subscribe to Showboating Sports, dog. I'm watching your shit. I get your shit every time. Just so you know. Every shit you put out there, dog, I get. I'll be like, Showboating Sports, put some more shit out. All right. Now I'm not gonna lie and say that I get to see everyone all the way through, because I don't. And honestly, it's not important, dog, because the first couple, you got to have the first 2 minutes lit. Okay. Like your first 2 minutes need to be lit, Showboating Sports. Like, get to that shit quick. You know what I mean? Because cats ain't gonna be listening forever. So I did listen. I was like, okay, I like this. And I like consistency. I like that you're doing it. I like that you're putting it out. That's the most important thing. So good job, Showboating Sports. Proud of you, sir. Proud of you, sir. Not a lot of people ask for help. Not a lot of people just start putting in the work and understanding that you just got to put in the work. Sugar Fantastic in the building. What's good? So Sunday, y'all can ask me anything, because I don't feel no pressure to talk about no boxing. I don't feel no pressure to do any numbers. I don't feel any of that. So I just want y'all to ask me whatever y'all want to ask me, and we can have a good conversation, dog. If you ask me in the super chats, that's good. If you ask me in the Cash App, that is way, way better. Much love, Brian Tamblis, in that super chat, man. And yeah, we got to make a culture change on that, dog, because I definitely appreciate the support, and I need the support, because we started a company. I opened a new boxing company, and you guys will be getting the information on that soon. But I officially, dude, we're going to be filing our LLC paper. We're going to get our paperwork and all that stuff in, file articles of incorporation. All of that stuff is ready to go. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to need your super chats, dog. Because because so many of you guys asked me to try to, they were like, people are like, Fannon, your little legal job, please don't do that anymore. And I'm like, nah, dog, I don't know. I might take a little break from it because, or get more clients. I don't know. But my money is really good right now. I'm feeling good. I feel like I can invest in boxing and not just invest with my mouth, but I have resources now where I'm going to invest in boxing, right? I'm not going to step away from other jobs and stuff, but I'm going to invest in boxing. So yeah, man, I appreciate you. Much love in the super chat, much love in the Cash Apps and all that stuff, because we got to change boxing, man. We got to change boxing. Shawn Porter, dude, I just lit up Shawn Porter. I didn't light up Shawn Porter in my video, dog. I wanted to light up on him. I wanted to light into him, dog. Shawn, man, come on, man. See, teach y'all something. The job makes the man. Remember that. Remember Ward. Remember this, because you guys are young. Y'all are kids, man. Like, y'all are kids, straight up, like kids. I feel like y'all are kids, like, who are just now becoming professionals. Like, you know what? That's the best way for me to look at that, dude, when I talk to you guys. Like Andre Ward, dude, if you ever listen to this, dog, Andre, you're a young kid that just went pro. Like, you're just now really going pro. Before, you were an athlete getting paid. Now you're a professional. Now you got to show up on time. You got to say what you do. Them cats in them suits can get rid of you tomorrow. You not the star. You're an employee. All right. And there's something to that adjustment. Much love and thank you so much for the support. Says, salute Fannon. I think it's funny how when Bob bashed Bud, Tim Bradley and Ward were quiet, but will trash talk about Spence and the PBC. Fannon, I think it's funny how when Bud bashed, but Tim Bradley and Ward were quiet, but will trash talk about Spence and the PBC. Yeah, dude, he works. Dude, that's their job, is to trash talk about the PBC. That's Andre Ward's job, because part of their part of their strategy at ESPN is to decrease the value of their competition. So they're doing negative marketing on the PBC. And I believe it's conscious. They know what they're doing. Just like they know, excuse me. Yeah, that's just like they know that there should be more black fighters on the pound for pound list, but they're not voting for them. Because that's not a real list. That is ESPN and what ESPN, the fighters that ESPN wants you to watch. So you really shouldn't call their list a pound for pound list because it's not an analytical, it's not like an analysis of fighters to tell you who's who. It's an opinion. That's it. Nielsen said, how long do you think the powers that be will hold? Much love in that super chat. How much longer, how long do you think the powers to be will hold Boots Ennis back from the top fights? I don't think that they'll do it for long because Boots is like that, and we're not going to let him. I'm already doing videos about Boots. Like, y'all can cut that shit out because we're going to make sure people know about Boots. Like, people got mad at me, Nelson, because I was like, they're like, don't put Boots out there like that. I was like, nah, it's people keep coming to my chat. They want me to put him out there like that. So I'm like, fuck, put him out there like that. I think he could be the best I think he could be a once-in-a-generation fighter. And I think that I do believe that. I believe that he can be a once-in-a-generation type of fighter. And when Shawn Porter talked about him, and I saw the look in the eye of Derrick James when Derrick James talked about him, I was like, nah, these dudes know about Boots. These dudes know about Boots. So, yeah, just let's say it, because now we're not going to let that happen. That's why I say support, and we're not going to let that happen. I already got a series called Fantasy Fights on Instagram. Support Fantasy Fights, because I doing these little vignettes and stuff about the fights that could be made, dog. I did a Gary Russell Jr. I did one for Gary Russell Jr. and who did I do them? So far I've done them with Gervonta Davis, Gary Russell Jr. I think I did a Devin Haney. I did a Devin Haney period. I got a Boots coming up. People want me to do Boots Rashidi Ellis, but I really want to do Boots Virgil Ortiz. You know what I mean? But dog, I'm telling you, it's coming. And when it comes, it's going to come high quality. Like this, like me, because you guys got to understand something about my channel, dog. CB Sports TV, much love in that super chat. He says, salute Fannon, just support the channel, man, and support CB Sports TV, man. And hey, and CB, man, you want a link? You want a link, CB? You're welcome, man. We can chop it up. You know what I mean? Saturdays is a relaxing time. I don't mind chopping it up. I don't mind chopping up with legitimate cats. Like, you ain't got to be the biggest channel in the world, but you can't be a fucking troll and you can't be whatever. But dog, we can chop it up on Saturday mornings. I don't mind at all. Well, there you go, man. Here you go. And I'm never bringing on more than one person. There you go. That's that link. And I'm never bringing on more than one person. I'm not doing 2. I'm not doing 4, 3. I said 4. I already skipped. See how my mind works? You know what I'm saying? See how my mind works? I was like 4 because I was already here. You're like, nigga, you don't know how to count. That's 3. I know, but I counted 4 in my head already. CB.
Hey, can you hear me, Fannon?
What's good, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Happy to have you on the show, man. What's good with you? Been a long time no talk to.
No, can you say something now? I'm trying to make sure I hear you clear.
I can hear you.
Okay. No, I'll try to make sure that I heard you clear because I'm on this road truck driving. But man, how you doing, man?
That's good. CB. Hey, CB. I didn't know you was a sport. I didn't know you was a truck driver, man.
What'd you say now?
Is that what CB means?
I'm gonna have to come out and come back in because my audio's acting crazy for me, so I'm gonna come back in.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, yeah, so when he comes back in, it's gonna be good because his audio. Fatal Hawk said Crawford be Spence. Oh, Crawford versus Spence won't ever happen. Fury will only accept the trilogy if he finds a new way to cheat. Canelo will take his loss if he fights Charlo or Spence. Just dropping my future predictions. That's what's up. So let's go through them. Spence versus Crawford won't ever happen. Yeah, it will. Too much money on the table, dog. These guys, Bud ain't stupid, and neither is Bob. They'll make that fight. CB Sports TV. What up, man?
Yeah, I'm truck driving, man. I'm on the road. I'm on my way to Laredo, Texas.
Laredo?
Yeah.
Where's Laredo?
It's down here by, about a border. I just left pretty much San Antonio, Texas, which was Divine, Texas, where I delivered at. I just left there, and I'm on my way to Laredo. Then I got about a 9.5-hour drive back home to where I live at in Amarillo. So,
all right, man. I'm in Austin.
Yeah, I'm in Amarillo, but that's like I'm like 5.5 hours away from Dallas. But I'm moving in. I'm moving in.
What I said is I'm in Austin.
Yeah.
You were in San Antonio. You was right by me.
Yeah, I had a delivery that I had to keep going because I deliver groceries and stuff like that. Make sure everybody get their food so they can enjoy, their Thanksgiving and all that. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, well, real quick, I'm gonna let you cook and let you get back to driving safely.
Okay.
Tell me what you think about the Terence Crawford Bud situation. Let them know how to get to you and sub to you.
Okay. My YouTube channel is CB Sports TV. I took a little hiatus because, making videos, but I'm back on it. So you can follow me right here on YouTube at CB Sports TV. And I do my content there. But the Terence Crawford situation, correct me if I'm wrong, Fannon, but he's real hypocritical because he says in the interview, if I'm not mistaken, with Brian Custer, that he took lesser money back in the day to fight bum opponents because it wasn't about the money. That's what he said. He said it was never about the money. But then when it comes to Errol Spence, it's got to be 60-40 my way. When Errol Spence said a 60-40 split because I'm doing the heavy lifting, no, because I've accomplished more than you. We all know, Fannon, that boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. Nobody cares what you did at 135 or 140. And look, and I'm not trying to knock his accomplishments, but the biggest name on Terence Crawford's resume, honestly, is Kell Brook and Errol Spence. When Errol Spence went over to the UK in front of 30,000 hostile UK fans, whooped Kell Brook. Then not only did he whoop him, but he broke his eye socket, broke his jawline and his rib, and had the man contemplating suicidal thoughts. So that's your claim to fame? That's unacceptable. You could have. Terence Crawford to me is ducking Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter said, "Yeah, I want that fight." And I don't understand that. Like, if you really want to make it closer to like if you really want the 50 split like you want, you got to fight Shawn Porter. You got to fight because Shawn Porter tests every fighter that he fights. You're not going to beat just dog walk Shawn Porter. People say Shawn Porter don't win the big fights, but he beat Danny Garcia, and all his losses except the Errol Spence were very controversial about one round. A swing round pretty much. That's something that you could really do. But honestly, Fannon, I'll be honest with you. My thing is, I feel like Terence Crawford is jealous of Errol Spence because we support him and to the fullest, and we call for big fights. But what he has to realize is Errol Spence, associates Errol Spence rocks with his people, and Terence Crawford doesn't. Terence Crawford would not even want to give his people the time of day, but he'll go give the Ellie Setbacks, Joe Rogans, and all the other, old media. He'll go get them dudes, he'll go get them dudes the time of day, and it's like them dudes don't care about you. We care about you. We pushing for the fight. What we're doing is pushing for the fight. We just want to see you fight better competition because your skill set says that you are an elite fighter. Your skill set says that. But your opponents in the ring don't say that. Your skill set has to match. Your skill set in the ring has to match, some of your opponents in the ring that have a similar skill set to you. And we need to see what's really going to happen. Yes, skills pay the bills. And we all know Terence Crawford has the skills. I'm not sitting here knocking this man's skill set. That would be foolish of me to do that. But we're not going to act like, okay, you were undisputed at 140, but he beat Julius Ndongo. Have anybody heard from Julius Ndongo since? And I'm being honest. I'm not trying to crack no jokes. Who's heard from Julius Ndongo since, Fannon?
Since Terence Crawford?
Yeah, since Terence Crawford beat him for undisputed at 140.
Regis Prograis did.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying, but other than that, though.
No, I'm saying, that's where we heard from. We heard his ass get laid out by Regis Prograis. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he might have come back and got another win or something. I think he's, training changers, changing trainers and all that shit.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, okay, you beat Julius Ndongo. So now, name one person besides Kell Brook who he just fought. But even say Kell Brook now. If Errol Spence fought this Kell Brook now, he'd stop him in 4 rounds. Like Bud, there probably 3. And I'm just going to be honest. And anybody on Bud Crawford's resume.
Now, I'll tell you, well, by way of communication real quick, because I seriously don't want you to keep your eyes on that road. So I know you are. I know you experienced, but I just, I'm a rookie. So I'm saying, well, damn, how do I say this? Look, man, I don't think Terence Crawford is Kell Brook, that was the point. No, dog, Kell Brook wouldn't have fought Errol Spence because he's scared of my eyes. I mean, now I don't have a problem with the fight really, but when Kell jumped up underneath them ropes to protect that eye, I told you he was like, dog, you're not gonna kill me, dog. He wasn't gonna be willing to take too many shots at my eyes.
Exactly. But who on Terence Crawford's resume, Fannon, out of all his fights, name one fighter on Bud's resume that goes 4 rounds with Errol Spence?
Well, look, I'll say this. On Bud's resume, I think Victor Postol could go 4 rounds.
With Errol Spence at 147. I don't see it.
4 rounds?
No, not 4 rounds.
I think there's a chance he could go 4. But here's the thing, man. Let me be Town Business. Shout out to Town Business. Man, I like Town Business. I listen to his show every day, man. I listen to his show every morning, and he's a big Terence Crawford fan. And here's my thing, man. This is where I agree with Town Business. Dog, we know that one of the best fights that there is for Errol Spence is Terence Crawford, right? Like I understand all of the conversation around why, Terence Crawford is sounding really arrogant about it, right? But let me get these 2 super chats. Fatal Hawk 91 said Crawford beats Spence won't ever happen. I do believe that will happen because there's too much money. Fury will only accept the trilogy if he finds a new way to cheat. I think you have that backwards. Fury will be forced into fighting the trilogy, and then he will find a way to cheat. And then Canelo will take his second loss if he fights Charlo or Spence. Just dropping my future. Canelo will not fight both Charlo or Spence, but I think that he will lose his L to somebody else. Like, I think he'll get sold. He's in it. I don't know. He's a new creature now because he's independent and you can't set him up. Like, he gets to matchmake his own guys now, so he may never lose. He's more than likely going to do like some Mayweather shit and only take those fights really if the other guy looks weak. CB Sports talking that talk, man. Terence seemed like he don't want no smoke. Fight Errol. If not, you got to fight Porter. What's your thought on that, man? Before I let you drive.
I fully agree. You got to fight Errol and or Shawn Porter. I mean, really, you need to fight both because that's legacy building. The Errol Spence fight with Terence Crawford is a legacy fight. I don't care about no splits and nothing like that because that's not my money. I just want to see, as a fan of the sport of boxing, I've been watching this, sports since I was, my great uncles put me on it when I was 3 years old and started, educating me about it. I just want to see the best fight the best. And I'm not here to knock Bud because Bud is a hell of a fighter. His skill set is immaculate. I want to see that skill set put to the test against the very best, against Keith Thurman, against Danny Garcia, against Shawn Porter, then against Errol Spence. I mean, if Errol Spence comes first, then the other 3 come later, cool. But I want to see that. That's how you get, mentioned with like Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler. Those 4 are linked together for life because they all fought each other. And that was the golden era right there. I call them the 4 horsemen because they were the 4 horsemen back in those days. We need that. And I'm like, that's legacy building. Yes, Bud, you're financially set for life. That's your money. Good. Take care of your family. But if you want to be known as a legend in the sport and remembered through the ages of time, you got to fight these guys. You got to. I just want these fights. And and another problem I have with Bud is how he let Bob Arum disrespect him as a man, as a black man. That hurt my heart. This man talked about you like a dog. As if you were another, I'm losing money, this and that. No, Bob Arum, you really lost all this money on Tyson Fury, paying him this ridiculous amount of money. He's only putting 3,000 people on the MGM Grand and all that. That's where you're losing money at. It's not on Bud. Because Bud is sold out Omaha. Anytime he's went to Omaha, he's sold it out. He did millions of views on ESPN. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Why are you going to let him disrespect you like that? You can leave. Floyd Mayweather gave all these fighters the blueprint. If you got the skills like that, bet on yourself. You don't have to be with PBC. You can go, if you want a one fight deal on the zone, you can do that. One fight deal on ESPN, you can do that. One fight deal with PBC, you can do that. That's the beauty of being a free agent. You're not tied down. Not only that, but more than not going to take 30% of your check either. You get to keep that. And that goes in your household. Just make the fights. That's all I want.
Yes, sir. Hey, CB, so we got to get you on when you settled, when you sitting somewhere, man.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on, man. I'm glad to know that that's why I hadn't seen you making videos, since I was like, you one of the best dudes. You one of the best dudes doing it in the LDBC, and you just kind of like I didn't see your content no more.
Nah, that's because you know what I'm saying. I'm doing this.
Yes, sir. There you go, man. All right, well, be safe out there. Frank, the truckers out there on the road, man. Shout out to the Lions Den trucking community. What's it called? Is it the Lions Den trucking community, ain't it?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of dudes out there on them roads.
Absolutely. Well, Fannon, I thank you for having me on. You know, I'll definitely be tuned in. I'm still gonna stay tuned in now to listen to the show. Thank you for having me on. I'll definitely be tuned in to OG Boxing Talk tomorrow morning, like I normally do.
It's Fannon Live now, so there ain't OG Boxing Talk. It's just Fannon Live. We do it at the same time, man, just to be consistent. But we'll be there tomorrow morning for sure.
All right. Thank you very much for having me on, Fannon, man.
All right, man. Get back with you, CB.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that's the dude, man. He does really great content, man. He does really great content. What's going on, Jose Rodriguez, man? What's good with you, man? Like that pose, man. And what's going on, my Noop? See, this is a Noopy. Let me tell y'all a Noopy. That's a Noopy right there. That's a Noopy right there. That's a Noopy right there. I like that. That's my fraternity brother right there. So, I messed up the last. Did I mess it up? I did. All right. So, Akado Sammy Hassan says, if Bud takes the 60-40 from Spence, you think Bob Arum going to pay for that fight, even with Spence as a big draw? Well, here, let's look at the 60-40. 60-40 of everything, just assume that they mean 60-40 of everything. I don't think Bob expects any more than that. Terence Crawford doesn't expect any more than 60-40. But Terence Crawford is negotiating, and there's no problem with that. I mean, we know he's negotiating because that's what his sister, when his sister has the viewpoint she has, you know that's what his family thinks and the people that are closest to him. But he's kind of trying to be, he's being the businessman. And that's why I'm saying, man, like I'm starting to get a better feel for what's going on with fighters and what's going on in these situations, because really a lot of these guys are they're junior businessmen. They're like associate level professionals. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's going to take some time for guys to mature to the point where they really can feel like they can do business dealings with Bob Arum. See, this is the thing, man. And I'm just gonna be honest here with you guys. And I know people are not gonna like it. Sometimes some people are not gonna like it, but it's just gonna be, I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? Look, as a boxer, you spent how long boxing? Say you start, how old do you start boxing? The youngest guy, when you're 5? I know there's kids in the crib, really, but what can you really do? You know what I'm saying? At the age of 1, 2, and 3, right? But when you seriously start training around, like at the age of 5 and 6, right? 5 and 6. That's when they start, right? Really young. And then you get to the championship level, and then you start fighting, and, you get through the top ranks of the amateurs. All right, so yeah, say 8 or 9, right? So compare my career as a businessman, as a business person, to Andre Ward's as a business person, okay? Let's compare them. When I was 8 and 9 years old, what I was doing was listening to people talk about business. I was listening to people talk about profits, losses. I for years was like, what's above the line and below the line? Like, it was really frustrating because I would listen to my brother and my father talk, and it would always be above the line, below the line, and these really heated debates about things that I never understood. But what I realize now as I'm older, I got to watch business sparring matches, right? Because people are arguing about how you make profit on a deal. Like when I was 12 years old, what I was doing was delivering newspapers as a family business. Like my sister was the one that earned the money. My father would go drive to where the newspapers were, and he would grab them and he would fold them. And then when he was there, after we folded them, we would then come back home, and then my older sister and my brother would then deliver them. Right? So that was a hustle that my family had, aside from what my father did as a job and what everybody else did as a job when we needed extra money. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that was my first experience with hustles like that, right? And understanding production, like being able to split that stuff up and say, okay, one guy, you fold the papers, you deliver the papers, you process the paychecks, right? Which brought in much more income, but it was 5 and 6 people doing it and not one, right? So, but that's where I started. He was throwing punches in a boxing ring and learning how to throw jabs and hooks, right? So then you go to school, right? And then you go to college, then you go to law school, then you become a management consultant. And then what you find out is after you are in this stuff for about 45 years, right? You've been seeing it and watching it for 45 years, that you have a different perception of it than somebody that just turned professional and just started paying attention to it, right? So Andre Ward, and let me go through these super chats, and then I'm going to explain, because I want to give it a detailed explanation in a way that pays respect to Andre Ward, pays respect to Shawn Porter, but at the same time addresses the issue so you can see what I'm saying, and not a way that I'm insulting them. I'm just saying that they are junior associates in my mind. That's how they sound to me, and that's how they behave to me, right? But I'll explain why. Let me get these super chats though. Desmond Johnson said, Fannon, you ever think Bud wants Pac and Errol so he can get 2 big paydays and get out? I'm starting to think Bud doesn't want to box much longer. Well, I have not thought that, no. But I will think about it. Bud wants Pac and Errol so he can get 2 paydays and out. Oh, yeah, I believe that's true. That's true. I'm sorry, I switched it. Yeah, I think that's true. Bud probably does want Pac and Errol so he can get them paydays and get out. That's be very smart. I believe he wants to fight, but I do believe he wants the money, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let me get back to the business thing for a second, and then I will go into detail on Bud. Mr. Mechanical said, what's up, Fannon? Floyd showed them fighters the green print. Stop being a top-ranked slave and go fight the best in the division for us fans can see 100. Yeah, absolutely he did. And he did. And he did it with the guidance of somebody that was senior. He didn't do it himself. He did it with somebody that has a lot of experience. You know what I mean? And that's what I was trying to describe for you, right? Al Heyman is not a junior. He's not an associate. You know what I'm saying? He's a legitimate like COO. You know what I mean? Because to me, he doesn't sound like a CEO. He sounds like a COO. Or maybe even a CFO. You know what I mean? Just the way that I see him dealing, his skill set is senior level CFO, without a doubt. Chief financial officer, right? He's going to know where the money is. He's going to know how to maximize profits. That's the job of a chief financial officer. A chief executive officer job is to work for the overall vision of the organization. And that could be him, but it could be him in partnership with Floyd Mayweather. Because I really do believe Floyd has a lot to do with the vision of the boxing for the PBC. Because if he didn't, that would be their loss. Because he just knows the sport so well. And see, that's the thing. Like, Floyd knows boxing very well. Shawn Porter knows boxing very well. But I don't believe that they really understand business politics very well. And they're getting caught up in business politics that I don't think will ultimately pay the best for them, because they're doing what is expected to be, right? They're not outliers. They're becoming the yes men. They're becoming the arm or the extension of, right, the same machine that pays them. And that's where they run their risk as far as their credibility with boxing fans, because it's an exchange. You know what I mean? You cannot, when you work for a company, you work for that company. You know what I mean? So even when Terence Crawford is talking about how Bob's not that bad and all that, he's still dealing with it from inside a corporate environment. Even if it's a small business environment, it's still a corporate environment. So you do have all of those, like you're walking down, you want to make sure you're not stepping on this person's toe, make sure you're not stepping on that toe, right? But so that you can go along to get along. That's what it is. So, but sometimes you do things that are unethical. And that's where I think the risk is for Shawn Porter and for Andre Ward. Because you risked, when you become unethical, that's the borderline of the company man. That's the line of sand that you have to draw as a company man, right? Because you're going to be a company man. There's nothing wrong with it. You're a company man. You work for a company. I'm a company man. I work for Google. Not a lot of people understand that I work for Google, or that you are paying Google and Google owns this platform, right? But Google's taking taxes out. I have to live and abide by the rules of Google, right? Because Google's a gigantic corporation and they pay me. So I have to be a company man to a certain extent. So I can't run around, like, if you notice, you hear a lot less cussing out of me. You hear a lot less of it. Not because I don't want to do it. Trust me, I want to talk really, really, really bad to y'all. Like, you would be very surprised with exactly how bad I want to talk about y'all. But I can't do it because I got paid a company man, right? And that's just the truth. But here's the key: ethics. If you see somebody mistreated, you cannot support that mistreatment. You cannot do it. If you do, that's unethical. It's unethical. It's unethical as a journalist. It's unethical as a boxer. There are ethics in boxing. Floyd messed up boxing. Boxers have a misconception of his blueprint. He had to work and beat the best in order to create super fights with low risk. Shamir Ogden, my viewpoint on that is this. Floyd did not change boxing as much as people think he did. Not everybody with a promotional company really has a promotional company. That's just a business entity until you're doing something with it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can say they have a promotional company, but what does that do? It allows you to have a taxable entity, right? I told you, Al Heyman, masterful CFO, and they concern themselves with payments, taxes, things like that. So it creates a nice little situation where you have a company and then you can count your expenses against it, right? Your training expenses, all of that comes out cleanly, right? Because of the structure of your business. But really, are you Don King Promotions? Are you signing 15, 20 fights? Is that what you're waking up doing in the morning? Sitting down at a desk, getting fat, negotiating deals with fighters? No, you get up in the morning and you go train. You go box and you let your business people handle that. So what I'm saying is when you're doing that, but you've never done it before. So the difference, say I do that, right? If I do that, because I am doing that, it's different than me hiring somebody and saying, I want a promotional company. You guys tell me how this works and I'll put my name on it, versus, no, I want an organization that works like this because I have experience doing this and this is how we're successful. Now, I don't have the time to do all of that, so I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to do that. That's running a business, okay? Being a figurehead, you're sponsoring it. You're really sponsoring it is what you're doing if you're not really active in it. And even then, I would say, look at what's the financial situation? How do you get paid? What's the ownership of it? See, all of those things are things you will know to ask after you've been in business for a long time or dealt with people in business for a long time. So Andre Ward and those guys have not, I mean, they've done their own, but I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And 18 and young guys like Tank, no. And like I read something that Tank said, dude, Tank, save your money. Like people are like, oh, you can't make it if you're not saving your money, you need to invest. Yes, you do. I do believe you need to invest. Okay. I had a lot of money at your age. I think investment is great too. But speculation and investment are two entirely different things. There's a difference, Gervonta, between speculation and investment. Okay? Investment means that you're putting something where you are very sure that you're going to get something back. Speculation is where you're getting something to somebody where they're selling you a dream about something that may happen after you spend a lot of your money. That, my friend, is speculation, not investment. So make sure you know whether or not people are asking you to speculate. They're like, dude, really, when do I start making money? Like, ask that question. Okay, you want me to have a trucking company? When do I start making money? What do you mean? Oh, you start? No. When do I start making money? Like if it's costing me $100, when am I going to start making 125? What is the date that this begins? Now, if you do that with the stocks, you know it. You make money as soon as the price goes up, right? But is it speculation? It's only speculation if you're just hoping, right? It becomes less speculatory when it's an established business like an IBM or a Google or something like that gives you reasonable return on investments, but they're predictable. And you know it's coming over time. But if somebody tells you to give me $1 million so I can start a trucking company, and I'm going to get a bunch of logos of yours made, and we're going to hire a secretary, and we're going to get office, and we're going to, nah, dog, that ain't a business, that's speculation. Because you don't know when you're going to make your money. Dog, don't put your money nowhere where you ain't going to get some money back soon. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't make benchmarks, stop investing the money. Be like, okay, yeah, I'm down for 30,000 right now. So if in a month we've made this progress, then I'll go to 50,000. But I'm not going to give you $500,000 to start a trucking company because you say you know how to start it. No, you could just spend all my money with your friends, and then I'm just going to be ass out, and then you're going to come back and say, oh, I need some more money. Dog, I'm telling you, it's more complicated than that. Get yourself an advisor, homie. Get yourself an advisor. Urban Gamer said Crawford got that Barry Sanders vibe, a winning player on a losing team. Yes, sir. Oh, let me tell you about Terence though. Let me get all the way to the end here though. Do y'all understand what I'm talking about though, dog? He said, "Good morning, soul brother." Hey, man. Good morning, my friend. Kane the bad guy said, according to Bud fanboys, the money comes in once you start the engine. Look, Bud's got his money coming in though. Kane. See, Bud is caught in it's a reasonable situation for him. And he's in a great position. Like Bud is in a great position. And he's in a great position because we hating on him so much. Like, you're welcome, Bud. You're welcome, Bud. You're welcome. You don't like me because none of your people will come near my show. And Bernie the Boxer, you got my notes. Dog, you got my note, Bernie. You got my note, dog. But dog, all I wanted you to do was come on the channel and share your side. I wasn't going to be like, let me debate you and all that shit on the channel. I ain't going to debate y'all. It's not a fair fight. Seriously, it's just not a fair fight. You're not going to box me, are you? I'm not going to box you. So you're not going to debate me. That's just how it works. You be like, damn, why you, dog, I ain't worried about y'all intellectually. Y'all can't hang with me intellectually. So I'm not going to do you like that because it's not right. You know what I'm saying? So I would just let you say what you want to say and I will support you, and I will make that argument better for you because you have you have a great position, but the people that support you suck. So you don't know how to use it. So I'm begging you, dude, this is how it works. I only debate my equals. Everybody else I do this to. I teach. I'm not debating. I'm teaching. And you guys keep thinking I'm insulting. I'm not. I'm teaching. Teaching you. I promise you. Go check my LinkedIn. Okay? Go check my LinkedIn. All right. I got like 500. I got like 500 people that have, what do you call it? What do you call it on LinkedIn? When you endorse somebody's skill set? Dog, I've got like 500 people that endorse all of these skill sets. You know, the only skill set that I do not have 500 people negotiate, 500 people, contract negotiations, because I've only negotiated contracts for select people. But for years and years, what I was doing was management consulting, dog. I did management consulting for Kemper Insurance. I did management insurance for State Farm. I did management consulting for the city of Chicago. I've done management consulting for big companies, dude. Worked for IBM, right? Worked for the university, for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. I've worked for these people, okay, over the length of my career. I promise you, dog, I am not debating you. I am teaching you. I wish you would listen. Bud is in a great position here, okay? A great position. Because Bob is busted and he's got two people that want to sign him. Doesn't he? He's clearly got Eddie Hearn and them that will throw some money at him. He might get $15 million a fight. Do you see this stupid offer they gave Gennady Golovkin? $15 million for Gennady Golovkin. Dog, you can't tell me Terence Crawford can't get $15 million out of them. Okay? He's in a fucking crazy good position. Crazy good position. And you know why that is? Because his sister opened her mouth. His sister opened her mouth and lit into them. So now you know that he believes these things. And now you can press. Okay, you can press. I'm telling you, you can press now. And yeah, he can say here and there because, trust me, dog. Percival Max said, I'm listening, Fannon. Honestly, Blood needs to hire you on his team. No, he don't. No, he don't. He don't need to hire me because once you hire me, I become a snake. And I don't want to be a snake on other dudes because I'm telling you, if you pay me to snake somebody, dog, I will slither through your motherfucking house so nicely. I have no qualms about it because I am amoral as shit. Like, I have to hold on to ethics because in my heart of hearts, I really don't care. I'm really like, dog, fuck it. Sell that, do this. What difference does it make? Because the whole justice system is like that. You see all kind of people doing shit like that. So I don't want to be hired from somebody to do that. I'm trying to stay ethically pure. I ain't trying to scalp tickets and do all this other shit that I see I could do to make dough. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got to talk boxing with all this crookery going on. Let me join the crooks. Shit. You know what I mean? Because they making big money. All right. Because, hey, I'm telling you right now, somebody drops 30 stacks of cash on me, you motherfuckers is done. Nah, not for 30 stacks. Somebody drop about 500 stacks, I will destroy everybody in my path for that. I promise you, there will be nobody safe in boxing. Nobody, because nobody can withstand this. You can't. Oh, he said, Fannon, you scared us when you talked about the contract you gave your son. Dog, let me tell you. That's why I be telling people, dog, don't do it. Like, I'm just being honest, okay? Because for real, my mindset is really, really fucked up. Like, it's really, really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking, like, dude, I'm telling you, dude, I used to have to wonder about getting kidnapped. Like, that's my mentality. And it was 2 times, not like, no, for real. Because I grew up, where I grew up, I had to fight all the time because I was the only black kid. So I'm really like always looking to fight somebody. Like, if you walk up to me But now you ain't shit. Hey, I'm just telling you, I ain't shit. I will own your motherfucking house in a minute. I would not bat an eye, dog. You kidding me? Dog, seriously. At one point in time, dude, somebody told me something, and I was like, man, fuck it. Like, and in my look, it's just what it is, dog. So no, don't hire me. I don't want to be that person. I am really trying to be a good person. Okay. I want to be a media watchdog, and I'm watching the media. And if you media lie, dog, you're not going to be able to lie to me, dog. You're not going to get out of it. And if I ether you, dude, you are completely ethered. Like, I will massacre y'all for $500,000. I will massacre you for $500,000. Like, nigga, I'm telling you. Because then I don't got to worry about monetization. I could do a 45-minute video on you, dude, and I'll go through all of your criminal record. I'll go through all of your shit, dog. Oh, my God. Like, dude, and I would have fun because I'm basically, dog, I'm telling you, everybody got problems, dog. I got problems. So anyway, man, no, I don't want to do that. However, I will tell you how to protect yourself from people that would be like that. Okay? I can tell you how to help yourself from people that will do you like that. And the way you do it is you hire, like, let me draw a parallel. Give me a one if I can just talk this morning. Because I'm having a good time, dog. I feel like at this time slot, I can do whatever I want to do. There you go. All right. So look, man, what you need to do is this. You need to get if you was a street dude, like what I would do if I was a street dude. Okay. Like the first move that I would make as a street dude would be this. I would get street dudes. Like, that's just me. I would have, at my earliest convenience, 40 of the thuggiest dudes, don't give a fuckest dudes around me at all times, dog. I would love that. I would be like, shit, let's make the money. How do you get the most thuggish dudes ever paid on a consistent basis? Loving you. That would be step number one. Okay, because then you can walk around and not worry about immediate power of other people. That's number one. Then number two, what I would do is I would find a vicious lawyer, like somebody that is just so fucking on it that you know any deal that you strike, you're going to know exactly what your risk is. Don King, whoever his lawyer is, dude, the thuggiest. Like I'm like, dog, I gotta, you know that dude. You know dude that don't care. You know the dudes that don't care are always the worst. So basically oh yeah, absolutely. But don't get involved in all of that shit. You just don't get involved in all that shit. You don't need drama. You know what I'm saying? But what you do need is just the comfort of being able to walk around and be able to be like, yeah, this is what I think. This is what I want to do. Moving. All that is just like basically like that type of shit. Not for any other, not ominous reasons. However, it's just real. It's just life in general. Because if major businesses go over to Brazil, dog, they don't call the police. Man, I remember sitting talking to this guy flying somewhere, dude. Because like I said, when I used to travel a lot for business, I would always strike conversations because I'm interested in what people do. So this guy was like, yeah, man, he worked in the oil industry, but he worked in the oil industry in Brazil. And he was like, man, look, we don't worry about the local police because we have our own police. They're not coming anywhere around us. Trust me. We handle all our business ourselves there. And that's just business. But the other side of it is you have somebody that knows your business, but not everything. Like the guy that knows your business can't be the guy counting your money. Two different people. And you have to change them out on a regular basis. So like, really? You need to change your promoters on a regular basis. Like, Bud, you've been with Top Rank too long because you're now relying on him for everything, dude. Sometimes you got to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can recount and see what's going on. So like CFOs, if you have a CFO that works for you, or if you have somebody, you change them out every once in a while because you want somebody to review their work and be like, oh, ho, 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 ho. You just lost $300,000 over the course of the last 3 years because this expense right here is not real. This expense right here is where are you overpaying? You know, there'll be a forensic accountant will come in there and they will ask a ton of questions, dog. I'm telling you, and they will find all kind of money that you think should be above the line that is below the line. You know what I mean? I always thought to the right and to the left, but whatever above, I still don't understand above and the below the line. That's just because I never really got into the finance part of it. Hey, King Vonnie, don't worry about the likes. They listening. They're listening. Isaiah Jones in that super chat, man. Much love in that super chat, man. I am Team Spence now. I don't like the thing Bud says. I want Spence to feel like he deserves it, but I got Bud winning. I really think he wins that fight. You got Bud winning? I don't. Bud's going to get beat up, dog. Hey, Daniel Solis, thank you. I think Bud's going to get beat up. After that fight with Kell Brook, I think he gets beat up. You can't do that, man. I'm going to say traitor. Nah, dog, I don't think you can do that, man. You skipped my super chat, bro. Sorry, man. Hey, if you you know whose super chats get skipped? I can't see dollar super chats, or it's hard for me to see a dollar super chat. That's the problem because it doesn't come up. So I'm pretty sure, unless that it's going to be a dollar super chat that I missed. Isaiah, and I'm going to go get it, though. I'm so sorry. And Late Show. Are you Late Show? Oh, Late Show. No, that's $5, nigga. That's my fault. Shit. He said, hit him with John Henry Clark. I only debate my peers. All others I teach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how you got to do it. Says, blessings up from Atlanta Kings and Queens of the mighty LDBC. Yes, sir. Business-wise, I see why Spence hasn't fought Bud. If Bud leaves, no reason for this fight not to happen. Spence will lose if Bud boxes and don't get into a dog fight. He's gonna lose a boxing match. The boxing match, Spence is the better boxer. I'm done with that. After the last two fights I've seen, don't give me that. Don't give me that. Nope. Errol Spence is going to whoop his ass. Okay? And I'm telling you what I believe. That's just straight. He's going to whoop his ass. Unless Errol Spence Jr. really is damaged from that car accident, Denny, who didn't he adjust to? With your picture of an Uncle Tom up here. Who exactly? Mike said, is everyone on a new time? I don't know. I'm not on that time anymore. Everybody else got to make their own times. I don't know. This is when I'm going. Look, dog, you're not going to pay. You talking about me? You're not talking to me, do you? Are you? John Henry Clark? Are you fucking kidding me? Is this to me? I'll wait for that answer. Is that for me? I'm waiting for Late Show. Is that for me? That's the question. Is that for me? Did you ask me if I didn't know who John Clark was? I'm asking a question. If you in the room, cool. I'm asking, were you talking to me? Nah, bro, I saw chatter comments. Oh, okay. Thank you. No. No, he didn't duck the question. He means that. And I wanted to make sure I held off before I flew off. Nah, dog, he knew what he was talking about because, dog, that's John Henry Clark. Absolutely. I was lectured by John Henry Clark. I consider John Henrik Clarke one of my teachers. Absolutely, I know who John Henrik Clarke is. I was in the room listening to the speeches that you kids talk about now. Of course I know who John Henrik Clarke is. John Henrik Clarke is a monster. How do you not know who John Henrik Clarke is? John Henrik Clarke is a monster. A monster. And he, during the time of his life, would tell you that. He would tell you that. John Henrik Clarke, I've never gotten chills. Like, I've never seen a man walk into the room who I did not know who he was and had people afraid of him. Oh, let me tell you about John Henrik Clarke. Says, salute Fannon and Don. I sincerely appreciate your honest, transparent content. Really liking the IG. Thank you, man. Yeah, because we got a lot more coming on the IG too. Let me talk about John Henrik Clarke. Nah, hey, I like Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben was not John Henrik Clarke. John Henrik Clarke scared you. John Henrik Clarke was scary. I'm telling you, scary. And I mean scary to everyone that came anywhere near him. Dog, this old blind man dog walked these Harvard professors so badly. They didn't even want to talk. He pulled punches on Cornel West and let Cornel West live. Dog, he let Skip, what's that dude's name? Skip from Harvard University. Dog. Skip, what's his name? The one that does all this shit now. He's a professor of Black history and Skip Shade. Skip, what the fuck is his name? Skip. Dude, a Harvard dude, I can't even remember his fucking name. Not Skip Bayless, Skip Gates. Skip fucking Gates. Skip fucking town, Gates, you fucking phony. Fuck out of here, dog, you fucking fraud. Nigga's a fraud. Nigga's a fraud. And John Henrik Clarke mortalized him. He wouldn't even come near him. Henry Louis Gates wouldn't walk in the same room as John Henrik Clarke. I promise you. I promise you. That's why I'm telling you, you niggas don't want to see me. Like, I know y'all don't want to see me. You don't want to see me. Like, you don't. You don't want to see me. Like, I mean it. You don't want to see. With this, you don't want to see me. And I know that because I know who John Henrik Clarke is, because I don't want to see him. Like, I would be scared to shit talking to that man. Like, I would be like, because, dude, he is just truth for days. He will tell a Harvard professor, I'm not even going to respond to you. Nah, Henry, look, let me tell you something, man. Let me talk about these black people, man. Let me talk about the academics, okay? Let me talk about the academics. I know the group of academics you're talking about. The number one is Neely Fuller Jr. Everybody can sit down. All of them. Sit down to the king. That's the king. John Henrik Clarke can sit down. Skip Gates can sit down. Haile Selassie can sit down. You name them, sit your ass down. To a man that ain't never went to college a day in his life. That's the man. So we can start with him and we can end with him because he has something for everybody. Can't nobody fade. Nobody fade him. Nobody. It's impossible to fade him. I mean, like, you don't understand how impossible it is to fade Neely Fuller Jr. I wouldn't even attempt it. I wouldn't even attempt it because he's taught me so much. That's why I'm telling you. Telling you. That's the man. But the only academic philosopher I listen to is Sir Pop Smoke, then you're going to lose out on a lot of shit. Pop Smoke is, no disrespect. Pop Smoke is dead, ain't he? Pop Smoke ain't around. Malcolm X didn't make it to 40. Martin Luther King didn't make it to 40. Did he? These other guys needed universities, didn't they? Didn't they? W.E.B. Du Bois needed an education, didn't he? He needed somebody to teach him, didn't he? I'm telling you, they're not his equal. Telling you, they're not his equal. None of them are his equal. None of them. And he lives today. Lives today. And if you listen to what he says, you cannot get thrown in jail for what he says. You will not miss with what he said. You will not. Fannon, a goofy. Fuck out of here. Nigga, are you kidding me? I'm a goofy? Nigga, how goofy am I? How goofy are you listening to a goofy at 9:30 at 9 o'clock in the morning, man? You up here 9 o'clock in the morning with 700 people listening to me. Call me goofy. You real goofy for listening to a goofy. But I won't insult you this morning. Like I said, Marcus Garvey got deported. And it didn't work. Next. Marcus Garvey it didn't work. He got deported. Next. I'm judging people based on what they've accomplished. How do I feel about Claude Anderson? I feel Claude Anderson is 1/8 of Neely Fuller Jr. I think he's 1/8 of Neely Fuller Jr. And I think that he will help you very much in solving problems in one area of human activity. And that but I like him and I like his work. But anyway, I'm not going to keep doing that. No, Francis Cress Wellesley bow down to Neely Fuller Jr. There is no Francis Cress Wellesley without Neely Fuller Jr. at all. Nothing. Her entire work is dedicated to explaining something that he taught her. No. But anyway, let's not get into that because I don't want to get into a lot of that. I say, hey, Tay say you ugly though. That wasn't me, dog. Tay say you ugly. He said I'm goofy, but you ugly. I know I'm a nerd, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you about a nerd like me. See, a nerd like me still got a better bitch than you do. This nerd, goofy, got a better bitch than you do. I guarantee you. Thank you very much. And if it wasn't for the laws of this nature, I might have 4 bitches better than you. So, nah, because they like it. Now, I don't care about the fatter wallet. A lot of cats got fatter wallets. My wallet is cool. I don't know what's in his wallet. I know what's in my wallet, and it's fine. I'm good. I feel good right now. I feel good with my wallet. I don't feel super excited about my wallet, but I like my wallet. I like my wallet. But, dog, seriously, man, stop, dog. I guarantee you I done had 30 chicks better than any bitch you've ever touched. So, fuck out of my face, dog. When I was young, I lived it up, okay? I lived it up and paid the price, dog. It is what it is. What's going on, Rampage Jackson in the building? What's up? Fannon the Don, the nerds be winning the bad females. We know we're going to get around insecurity. You know how it works. See, they treated me. Let me tell you how they used to treat me. Okay. They treated me like I was an NBA prospect. See, that's when you are in medical school. I'm not in medical school, but let me tell you what women treat black dudes like that are going into medical school. They treat them like they're going into the NBA because they know those guys are going to make several millions of dollars over the course of their career because they're going to make $500,000 a year every year for 30 years. You don't think they treat these dudes like NBA all-stars? They do. And guess who these dudes are tapping? The same chicks. The same ones, dog. The same ones. All them chicks you walk around with thinking you bad, you got your stacks of dough and you got chicks pouring, dog, trust me. Nah, dog, they've been tapped, okay? Because they come over this way too. a gold digger digs gold. If you got it, they dig. Okay? If you got it, they dig. That's what's up. And you may like it or not like it, but the truth of the matter is, dog, that's the truth. And you can love it or not love it. I don't need no tattoos. I don't need to lift no fucking weights. Okay? I can pull them with a belly. Okay? Easier than I did at any point in time in life if I did not love my wife. So, with that bullshit. Now, he said, oh, yeah, the medical field is my domain. You know how they be treating y'all. You know how they be loving y'all, dog. You know how they be loving y'all over there, dog. Yes, knowledge is power, man. Fannon goofy. Dog, you know how many times motherfuckers have called me a goofy while they sitting there with a booger bear broke drinking a motherfucking 40? Nigga, while I'm driving fuck by you. Like, the fuck? That's that Brandon, true story. He ain't lying. Of course he ain't lying, dog. Dude, I got a boy, dog. Seriously, man. I got a boy. Like, this is my dude. Straight up. This is my dude. But the nigga stutters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like he cannot talk. That's it. That's it. It's my dude. I love him to death, dog. Love him. But he cannot get a straight sentence out with a... And he ain't the prettiest dude in the world either. But you know what he is? A fucking dentist. Orthopedic surgeon, to be specific. And do you know what his wife looked like, dog? Bad as the fuck. And she don't mind that stuttering. She don't mind none of that stuttering when she got that Dooney and Burt for $5,000 sitting on her shoulder. She don't care. She don't, baby, slow down and talk to me a little more quieter. Why, hey, is the housekeeper coming today? Exactly. He's dumb paid, living in Atlanta, dog. Went by this dude's house, dude, when he was single. Dude, this dude, dog, went to this nigga's house. Hey, let me tell you, I hung out with in Atlanta, dog. I'm telling you, y'all think y'all be ballers. Y'all think y'all are the ballers. I always think this about like professional athletes. Y'all think you the only ones fucking balling? Dude, I got a boy, 2 dudes, right? You ain't never heard of these dudes. But one was ran marketing for BET, ran marketing for, he was like the president of what, like CoverGirl, right? And the other dude was the dude who I love to death, but he won't get shit out. Dude, they picked me up from my hotel in a stretch limousine for no good reason. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we in this big ass limousine for? Well, we didn't feel like driving all the way down there to get you. So they just hired a dude with this big ass stretch, whatever the fuck it was, and just came got me. And then we went to this big ass mansion with a bunch of cars in front of it with a gigantic fucking pool table. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like, it's my crib. I was like, wow, y'all doing it like that? It's like, yeah, we doing it like that. And I will leave the rest of the conversation alone. But let me suffice it to tell you. Yeah, dog, they ain't just going to basketball games, homie. They not. So stop all that nerdy shit. No, get you some fucking books and trust me, get some money and they will treat you nicely because everybody wants to be secure. That's just the truth. Said, doing research now. Thanks, big bro. Hey, man, do the research, man. You said, for now, you funny as hell. I'm just telling you the truth. Dude, there's this dude in, man, let me tell you some, man. There's this dude in New Orleans. I ain't gonna say his name, dog, but the motherfucker was a legend in my eyes. Like when I was a kid, I was 18 years old. I was like, dude, I cannot believe that a human being has it this good. Like, I couldn't believe it. He was a senior at like Tulane. He was a noob. And this dude literally was, now he wound up going to work like at, I think he was wound up being like working on Wall Street or something. But this dude is sitting there, dude, in New Orleans with one dime piece right here, who he is just talking all kind of bad to, right? Talking all kind of bad to. And she's crying and she's doing it with his girl right there. And I was like, dude, I ain't gonna say his name. I was like, dude, don't know she right there. He's like, man, he don't care. He with her too. That's dude. I was like, and this dude New Orleans dude, been in New Orleans his whole life, dog. You never heard him, dog. Never heard him, dog. Paid is ridiculously paid right now. And I'm telling you, when I'm telling you the girls he was doing like, get the fuck up out of here, they were like super fucking stars, like super damn stars. So nah, man, don't be thinking I wanted to go into that a while because y'all dudes that are from the street, a lot of y'all don't know what dudes be doing on these college campuses or what professional or young professionals do. Dog, trust on the floor of these fights are going to be young professionals that are doctors, lawyers, engineers, people like that. Because they can afford the $1,000 tickets. But that's not the driving force behind boxing. The driving force behind boxing is the rest of us. Beast Mode says, Salute Fannon, do you also think Arum is saying he's losing money publicly to try to use the media to coerce Bud into taking a pay cut? No, I just think that he's trying to shortchange Bud's value. I think that he is acting like Bud is a problem when he really wants Bud. I think Bud he's treating Bud like a pretty woman. And it's like, nah, the way you treat it. You know that saying that you treat what's that saying? You treat a lady like a hoe and a hoe like a lady? Some shit like that. Treat a lady like a hoe and a hoe like a lady. Something like that. Where it's like the lady you really think is cool, you can't really be giving her all that credit and all that shit because, she may get a big head or something. But the ones that aren't really nothing, you don't really care about, lie to them and act like you love them to death so that they'll always want to be around you, right? So that manipulation, that's gaslighting, right? Because you're not showing your true intention to anybody. If somebody's a hoe, you really want to treat them, they're a hoe to you. So you can have a good relationship with a hoe, but you know what it is. You know what I mean? This is going to be your lady. You want to have that type of relationship with your lady. That's what it is. But when you say treat that lady like she is a hoe, you're trying to prevent that lady from knowing what she really means to you so she doesn't get a sense of herself. And men do that to women all the fucking time. That's what it is. It's what it is. Like, dude, if this is a true story, Tay, I'll put you down on game. That's the truth. When I was 19 years old, this dude told me that. He was like, man, because there was a girl, she was super bad. And I told her. And he was like, dog, you can't tell her that, man. First of all, she already knows it. So what good is fucking telling her that going to be? The only thing that you're going to be able to stand out is if you treat her differently. So you got to ignore her. You have to not let her know. You know what I'm saying? You got to not let her know. But that's how it works. And that works. You can't be telling real pretty chicks that they pretty. You got to tell them some shit that somebody else didn't tell them, which is that they're not. And then you touch them in their insecurity spot. But regardless, I'm just saying that's what I think Bob Arum's doing to Bud and Lomachenko, because Lomachenko ain't shit. Like, as far as some big promotional guy, man, he was never going to go solo. Like, we don't talk about whether or not Terence Crawford has the ability to go solo or not. Because Lomachenko does or not. Because Lomachenko doesn't have the ability to do that. That's not an option for him. You see the PBC knocking down the door to get Lomachenko? No, because the hype job is gone, dog. So they're like, whatever. We don't really need him like that. But Terence is somebody that they would immediately hire and do work with, right? Because he's from America and you see all the conversations. Dude, this is a conversation that we're having at 8 o'clock in the morning for an hour and a half, and there's been 600-700 people here the whole time chopping it up about Bud. That tells you that he really has the people's attention. You can't do that with Lomachenko, dog. You know what I mean? And Bob knows that. So that's kind of where I get it, man. Fannon, you never give your thoughts without the benefit of intellect. Yeah, I can't help it, dog. Like, hey, dog, that's my middle name, by the way. You take out that R, that's my middle name. Rhymes, my middle name is Himes. I hated that name. till I realized that it's Rhymes. Himes Rhymes. I was all right. I like that. Got the crazy middle name. Exactly. Loma was fighting in ballrooms. Yep. Yeah, but I just don't want people thinking I'm hating on Bud. But Bud's has got to do a better job of just tell the truth, man. Like, hey, man, yeah, hey, dude, I would consider leaving. And no, this dude's not giving me the fights that I want. And hey, but I'll fight my contract out, and then I might consider leaving. You know, I just think this being straight with it would be more to Bud's advantage. It's definitely going to be. Now, let me talk to the Bud fans. It would definitely be more in your best interest just to be straight with it. Like, dog, you know that the reason why Bud, you guys are so sick of Errol Spence fans is because Errol Spence fans are kicking your asses. Just what it is. On these debate streets, y'all are getting massacred for 2 years. It's been a steady bloodletting for several years now. So I can understand. I can understand why you guys would be upset. You should be upset, man. You know what I mean? Exactly. We know that. Bud brings in more viewership than Lomachenko ever could, which is why they always advertise Lomachenko's peak, and they only advertise Terence Crawford's average. Man, this stuff, these guys know perfectly well what they're doing, man. They are putting their fingers on the scale so that they can keep control of these fighters. It's all about controlling the fighters however you can control the fighters. On a horse you want to run harder, you stick a carrot in front of their face and they run harder. If you want them, if they won't listen to the carrot, you take a stick or a whip and you hit them on their backside. You know what I mean? Lomachenko, we want to get you. We need to get him. We need to put the carrot out in front of the media for him and just get them everything Lomachenko, thereby exaggerating what the guy's worth is. And everything you hear out of ESPN about Top Rank is neutral at best when it comes to Terence Crawford. Neutral at best. See, Caleb Phillips, I don't think it's as serious that it is as simple as Great White Hope. I don't think it's that simple. I think it may be that simple from fans' perspectives, but I don't think it's that simple from a business perspective. Like the multitude of fans that believe this horse shit, yeah, I believe that is their hope that black people will fall off the face of the earth. You kidding me? I think there's people out there hoping we become an endangered species. Like they're waiting for that shit. Black people named endangered species so that they can have an Endangered Species Act and put the rest of us in fucking cages for the rest to say, hey, this is for the best interest of making sure we don't kill them all. That type shit. Put us on some fucking reservations or something. Those type of people, dog, you know, that's them. But the business people, nah, I think that the business people, I think that what they're really trying to do, I think that they're trying to maximize their money. You know what I mean? I think they're thinking with their wallets. Bob Arum, for sure, I think he is thinking exclusively with his wallet, man. Exclusively with his wallet. I don't think he cares about fame. I think he cares about that bank book. And he's a little short dude. So since he's like literally than all the guys, he probably doesn't like heavyweights at all. Like having to look down. Like, how tall is Bob Arum? About 5'2"? Bob Arum can't be much taller than 5'3", 5'4". Like, he's a little dude, man. He's like, Lomachenko makes Bob Arum look short. I think like Lomachenko's like, they're like eye and eye, and I don't think that dude's more than 5'4". So, you know, he may have a little bit of a Napoleonic complex and a desire to show all these big fighters that he's the boss. Shit like that. Much love in that super chat, man. My brother Fannon, I would love to see a Super 8 tournament in the welterweight. Name your top welterweights and number them 1-2 seed and who would fight them. Love to hear your thoughts. For $10, sure. Why the fuck not? Okay. Sorry to be blunt, but yeah, I appreciate the support, dog. So number 1 would be Errol. Number 2 seed will be Manny Pacquiao. because Manny Pacquiao fought better competition. Errol, I would have fight Danny Garcia like he's doing. And I would have Manny Pacquiao fight Terence Crawford. But then I would stack the Terence Crawford side with Jaron Ennis, because I think the top 8 top 8 are clearly Manny. Oh, so you're talking about, so that would be 4 fights. Okay, so the first 2 fights would be Manny versus Manny versus Shawn Porter. Crawford versus Thurman. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Errol versus Danny. And and Ugas versus Ennis. There you go. Because that puts Thurman, Garcia, Porter, Ugas, Ennis, Pacquiao. So, yeah, I would have Manny fight Shawn. I would have Crawford fight Thurman. I would have Errol fight Danny. I would have Ugas fight Ennis. Because I want Ennis and Ugas. But then again, I got to change that, don't I? Because Ennis is in the top 4. So the top 4 would be, really, I think, are Errol, Crawford, Manny, and really Porter. So get rid of that. Move Thurman to No, he already fought him. Fuck that. But that's generally it. I can do a video on it, though. Yo, Fannon, I don't really believe Crawford would beat Danny Garcia. I don't know. I think he would. I just don't think he's going to beat Errol. I'm not going to leave Boots out. I'm not leaving Boots out. Somebody going to get their ass whipped by Boots. Fuck that. It's my tournament. I'm putting my thumb on the scale. And I'm throwing him in there with the number 4, too. I'm going to give him a nice seed. And I'm going to give him to Shawn Porter. Yeah. I'm going to give him to Shawn Porter Ugas. Since Shawn Porter said he don't want that smoke. Yeah. Shawn Porter Ugas. I'm not going to leave Ennis out because I think he's the top 6 guy. I think he's the top 8 guy. Yeah. Got a chance to put my Ennis plug in. Yeah. Because I don't want people to be acting like you don't know who Ennis is, like you do in Guillermo Rigondeaux. Nah, he ain't next generation. He's right now. Their generation is right now. His generation is right now. Teofimo Lopez generation is right now. Devin Haney's right now. Right? Shakur Stevenson's right now. Why can't Ennis be right now? Nah, dog. You got to fight them dudes, man. Honestly, if we're being honest, Danny got beat by Peterson. Yeah. But look, here's the problem. Crawford ain't beat none of them. Everybody that I named, other than Ugas, fought somebody else. I mean, other than Ennis, fought somebody else on that list already. So I don't know what I can do. I gotta stay there. I gotta stay there with that. I'll say you Bud fans just saw 5 straight knockouts. What are you watching? Us Bud fans just saw. Oh, are you trying that cornball shit? All right, I'll destroy that. No problem. The predicate. You watched the video that I watched earlier this morning. Sorry, dog. Kell Brook is fucking Kell Brook. I don't care if you knocked him out. He's been knocked out multiple times. Okay? So stop. Number 2, Egis Calvinakis. So the fuck what? He lost to Ray Robinson. Okay? And don't worry, then I'm going to retort that argument about Errol Spence's 6. But let's start with Errol Spence first. Errol Spence fought Shawn Porter. Who has knocked out Shawn Porter before? Nobody has ever knocked out Shawn Porter. Nobody. How many people have knocked Shawn Porter down? 2, maybe 3, but I think 2. And one of them was Errol Spence. And he was the WBC champion. For a belt to unify. You can't discount Shawn Porter and then give Terence Crawford credit for undisputed, because that was a unification fight. Right? If you discredit unification, you discredit undisputed. So there you go. That counts. Mikey Garcia. Who has knocked out Mikey Garcia? Nobody has knocked out Mikey Garcia. But he didn't lose a round. And he got a 10-8 round in a dog walk. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Got rid of him. I mean, beat him easily. Who was before that? His mandatory, dog. Everybody got to take their mandatory. Okay? Egas Calvinakis is the mandatory. Carlos Ocampos is mandatory. It's just a mandatory. He didn't pick him. The fight before that was Lamont Peterson. Dude, Lamont Peterson, he only fought Lamont Peterson because the other guys wouldn't fight him. Number one, Keith Thurman wouldn't fight him. Keith Thurman wouldn't fight him. Shawn Porter wouldn't fight him. Danny Garcia wouldn't fight him. So who's he supposed to fight? You remember them big long-ass layoffs he was having? He had to sit out. He was sitting out like a year. So it took a fight against the only guy that would give him a fight. And he did what he's supposed to do. He knocked him out. And before that, he beat Kell Brook. And do you know what he never did? He never changed. He never exaggerated anything. He never said Carlos Ocampo was some great fighter. But Bud is acting like Green Beans is. Doug, no. We know none of those guys are top welterweights. None of them are top welterweights that Bud fought. And Bud said that everybody, see, this is where you just lose it. Because Bud says everybody that I fought would at welterweight would give everybody else in the welterweight division problems. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know why? Because one of the guys he fought was Amir Khan, who got knocked out by Danny Garcia. So just right there, you know that's not true. You know it's not true. Because he got knocked out by one of the guys Errol Spence fought. Look, I've seen 5 straight knockouts from Edward Berlanga. Okay? 5 straight knockouts. Who gives a fuck? Really? Until Edward Berlanga, excuse me for killing his name, Puerto Rican young prospect, up-and-coming prospect out of New York, when he does that to somebody like Jaime Munguia, oh no, he's 168. So when he does that to somebody like Chunky, what's Chunky's last name? What's Chunky's last name? The guy Chunky Medina. When he does that to somebody like Chunky Medina, when he does that to somebody like Andre Durrell, when he does that to somebody like Jose Escotty, then tell me about it. Okay? When he's doing it to guys like that. Not saying he's got to do it against the Caleb Plants or the Jose Benavidez, the David Benavidez's or I already think he may do it to Callum Smith. Callum Smith a fucking bum. Okay? Fuck all that bullshit. Canelo taking that bullshit ass fight. But that's a bullshit ass fight, and y'all know that's a bullshit ass fight. Name one undisputed champion that's moved into a weight class and had to jump through hoops to get a unification fight. Jermaine Usyk. Usyk. Usyk hasn't even had a championship fight. So there you go, Caleb Phillips. Dog, don't come to me with easy work, okay? Next Bud fan question. I'm waiting. Next Bud fan question, please. Because that Caleb Plant was just easy. Now I see y'all want to play games with me. Name another undisputed champion that moved up in weight and had to jump through. Exactly. There you go. Right there. I'm sure I can name more too. More. Okay? I'm sure I can name more. Bud doesn't have a mandatory yet. He just beat his mandatory in the fight before last. When they name it. The predicate, when Bud stops Manny, you're going to say Manny was too old. If he beats Spence by KO, you're going to say that he hasn't healed yet. Yeah, sure. You're a mind reader too, right? All right, would you like to leave a statement that is not your opinion and based on some crystal ball shit? But let me go with this. When Manny stops Bud, he's not going to get that fight, the predicate. He's not going to get that fight. That's a pipe dream. So, but let me follow you into your pipe dream. He's not going to stop him, okay? Because he's not going to fight him. But if he does stop him, I'm definitely going to say he's too old because Manny Pacquiao's 42 fucking years old. Of course I'm going to say that because it's true. If he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. and knocked him out, I would say Floyd Mayweather Jr. is too old. You know why? Because he is. Age works like that, dog. Dre said Porter is Bud's mandatory for the WBO. When they name him that. When they name him that I believe. But I'm going to go to this because seriously, I'm a stickler for things like that. But let me go to the WBO rules. WBO mandatory rules. Mandatories. Where is the mandatories? What section is this? World Boxing Organization. We have weight categories, weights, defense of the title. Designation of a mandatory challenger shall be page 8. So let's go page 4, 5, page 6, page 7, page 8. Designation of a mandatory challenger. The mandatory challenger may be selected and determined by the WBO Championship Committee according to the current list of the best boxers promulgated by the WBO Classification Committee. The world, there you go. No, he is not the mandatory. The WBC mandatory commitment shall, for good cause, designate the date on which the determination of the mandatory challenger shall be determined. For the purpose of designating the mandatory challenger, the current list of classifications as challenger is to be made at the world champion is obliged to defend his title, blah, 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 on any other date in which the world champion, for just cause. Okay, a class may request recognition as the mandatory challenger in writing, so he can request it. Where did we say that was? Page 8. When a champion must make a defense, the mandatory challenger shall be the highest classified available who, in the judgment of the World Boxing, this is the WB. No, it's a WBO, but they call it the World Championship Committee as a class boxer, complies with the WBO and Association of rankings in the event that the champion has a contract. Yeah, dog. Must make it. No, it's not. He's not the mandatory until they designate it. Okay. So I keep hearing that and I keep correcting it, but it's just what it is. Okay. In the case of the WBO has to name you the mandatory. Now, Shawn Porter qualifies as that because he's the number one contender, but because he's the number one contender. But as it says in the rules right here, the mandatory shall be the highest classified available. See, now you got to get highest. That doesn't mean number. Let me do this for y'all. Do this for y'all. All right, here you go. All right. Y'all, I think y'all should be able to see that. Let me flash back real quick. Yeah, you can see it. All right, so here. So yeah, stop telling me about all this rule shit. Shit getting on my nerves. WBO, World Boxing Organization. This is the WBO. These are the regulations of their championship contest. And then we're going to go down to Section 8 right here, which says Section 6, which says designation of mandatory challenger, page 8. Then we go down here to page 8. And we see this clause says this right here. This is the rule. Section A, Section B, Section C. Section A is the mandatory challenger may be selected and determined by according to the current list, right? Does that say number one shall be? No, it has this word may in it. May means they could or they could choose something else because it says may not shall. Then right here we see the mandatory challenger shall be the highest classified available boxer who, in the judgment of the World Boxing Committee, Championship Committee, best satisfies the following criteria. And they name the 3 criteria. We don't give a fuck about the criteria. We just care about that it shall be. This is a shall because that tells you what the rule is. The highest, not number one, but just highest, classified. And what is this? Available. Because what if you're number one, but you're not available, right? And what if in the judgment of, what if they don't believe that? What if they say it's horse shit? Best satisfies. Who determines what best is? Best according to Shawn Porter, best according to me. That is very, very ambiguous bullshit, which tells you that that rule itself is not much of a fucking rule at all. Okay? That is not much of a rule at all. What that tells you is that the WBC is going to tell you who the mandatory is and that Shawn Porter is eligible to be the mandatory, okay? Let me get rid of another myth that keeps being repeated, okay? But it's just not, I cannot see. Can somebody tell me who is the mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua for the WBO? Oh, excuse me. Can somebody tell me who the last mandatory fight that Anthony Joshua had? I'm going to kill another myth. Somebody please name me the last mandatory title defense that Anthony Joshua had, who it was against. Nah, well, Keith, you said Usyk. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I don't mean Usyk because the WBO is a different thing. It's Povetkin. Put a 1 in the comment section. 1 in the comment section. If Alexander Povetkin was a mandatory title defense for Anthony Joshua. Put a 1 in the comment section if he was a mandatory title defense. Takam was not a mandatory title defense. Takam was a voluntary that he took instead of the IBF mandatory that was going to be Kubrat Pulev. But when Kubrat Pulev pulled out, that's when he took a voluntary. So what's up, Bison? Why are they taking so long to make the Manny fight, make a fight? He ain't hurt because they're not going to make the fight. Paul, much love in that super chat. Also, much love to my man, Dr. Dre. My man, Dre, I did get that. Oh, and Dre said also, I'd like to see Boots versus Jermell. Yeah, that's too much for Boots right now. I think because he's a 147 guy. Y'all trying to play Captain Save somebody. He was the WBA mandatory? Okay. So tell me, Kamal Oz, what title does Anthony Joshua hold? Does he hold the WBA Super or does he hold the WBA regular? I got to check this super chat sticker because I can't see him unless I'm in the chat. Oh, man, I didn't see it, man. I'm sorry. I'll try to look here. Right, so he's the super. So now, How is it possible that the WBA Super does not have a mandatory challenger when Anthony Joshua only holds the WBA Super and he had a mandatory against Alexander Povetkin? How does that work? Either one of two ways. Either it was a lie that Alexander Povetkin was a mandatory, which I don't put past these boxing people. They lie like rugs. They lie like rugs. So, which is it? Is he lying? Did they lie about it being unification? Or did they lie about it being a mandatory? Or is it a myth? Exactly. AJ is the WBA Super. Manuel Char's the world. Trevor Bryan's the regular. So oh, shit. That's a huge super chat sticker. Bam Bam Tweed. Let me get these two, and I'm going to make sure I read them. Damn. Man, my man Dave Williams, man. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, dude. And Bam Bam Tweed said, hold this for the promotion. I just got put a VP by my name. Thank you for the knowledge. What? What? Great. That's what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for, Bam Bam Tweed. That's what I'm here for. Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. And let me tell you, just so you know, Bam Bam Tweed, this is a job my dad used to have as a consultant. I love my dad with all my heart. And what he did as a consultant, he always consulted CEOs and high-level executives in presentations and in negotiations to other high-level managers. So to know that you recognize that and that you were in that situation and could take advantage of the information, that is a beautiful thing. Because absolutely, dude, I can give you, that's right up my alley, dude. Congratulations, Mr. Vice President. Now make sure you pay very close attention to your metrics. Make sure that you understand that you work for that you don't get the big head, and you continue to grind. You continue to play the game, you know. Man, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Because I'm telling you guys, it's real. And there's nothing better than that. Somebody else told me, my man told me that he was able to quit his job because of what we talked about. Because he's like, man, I want to get out of teaching and I want to get into this area. And I was like, hey, man, this is how you do it. And we had one conversation, two conversations. He was serious. He wrote down what I asked him to write down. He went through the process that I asked him to go through. And then boom, he called me back 8 months later, maybe a year later, and said, hey, Fannon, I just want to let you know. Yeah, I quit that job. My business is up and running, and I'm going. And see, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing, Bam Bam Tweed. I'm very, very happy for you. Nerds winning. Yeah, nerds be getting paid, dog. Nerds make it happen. But it's not really nerds. See, music people are nerds. Like, dog, come on, man. All these, like, deep down, really, 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 all you guys that make beats are nerds. Like, you're nerds. Anybody that's going to sit over a computer board and go beep, beep, boop, 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 doop, beep, 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 boom, 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 chang, all that shit, that ain't nothing different than being a nerd, dog. You playing math games. You playing math games on a synthesizer, dog. You a nerd too. Everybody's out like, come on out, let's go play. And you're like, I don't want to play. I want to play with my beat machine. My mommy got my beat machine. And you're into your shit. And then soon, all the cool kids are out there partying the music, and then you put your music out. And now they're paying you. Like, did you not see what Little John? You think Little John was some popular kid? What'd he say? What's the shit he used to do? What? You think that what dude was like player? Come on, man. You think what? With some Mac? Get out of here, dog. Y'all playing with beat machines, dog. That's why all that stuff about like African Bombada and all that, dog. And oh man, come on, dog. Like, it takes too much work. Yeah, boo boo doo. I'm saying, whatever the fuck that shit is, I always be making up, man. That shit's always good because the nerds working on it, dog. The nerds is working on it. But that is, you guys are nerds, man. Just don't act you are nerds, okay? I'm telling you. All right? Y'all are nerds. All you dudes don't think about nothing but money, y'all are nerds too. Y'all are nerds too. Because you're not out there trying to be cool. You're out there trying to you're out there trying to be constructive. See, that's what a nerd is. A nerd is somebody that is constantly trying to be constructive. And they can't be pulled this way or that way. As a result, they're not following you on their fashion shit. They're not fucking with you on fashion. You know, they care about learning. Why? Because learning helps them create things. That's what the nerds are, dog. And you wind up working for nerds. And then the nerds, here's the thing. But then you nerds that get money, forget you some fucking nerds. Okay? So, but let me talk to the nerds now. Because, dog, let me tell you something. Y'all some nerds. Steve Kim is a nerd. Straight up nerd. No, my opinion, run of the mill, no pussy getting nerd. Okay? That probably got married at 22 because at that way he figured I can lock this one in. That's that dude. You think Steve Farhood running around getting coochie? Hell no. Those dudes are the nerds, man. Those dudes are the nerds, and that's why they be hating people like that, dog. That's why they be hating. You know what I mean? Like, you think Dan Rayfield ain't a nerd? Dog, Ray Rayfield and what's that other dude's name? Why no media videos about Errol's media workout? For what? For what? Errol looks good, dog. There's a million people that did videos about that shit, man. I can't do a video. Much love in that super chat. I just can't do a video about everything. You know what I mean? I can't do a video about everything. So, but I do, like, my thing right now is I'm trying to work like on Deontay, like, because there's always some shit coming up about that. You know, I just can't talk about them all the time. I can't talk because really, how can I say this too? Much love in the egg, man. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you so much. How can I say this? I don't like looking at half-naked men. Like, I don't. So, like, whenever I see a boxing match, I'm like, I don't think about it. But then if I was to do a video, there was like, look at the curvature of his arms and his muscles and all of that. You know what I mean? That's just not my type of video. That's nothing I can bring I can't bring any value to you by doing that. Like me. Other people can, because they can tell you, oh, it looks like he's drained or he's this or he's that. But those are guys that are really experts on his physique. And I'm not an expert on his physique. The fact that I have to talk about puffy nipples every once in a while, just for the way that I roll, is like, I ain't that big on it. Oh man, I should check my Cash App, because as much as I beg people to do Cash Apps, instead of this, people sent me a Cash App yesterday. Okay, nothing came through. Cool. I wouldn't say nerd. I wouldn't say people are nerd, just love what they feel. Yeah, but it's just the same thing. It's the same thing. It looks nerdy to somebody else, right? Because to me, it looks nerdy. Like, my boy is a DJ, loves that shit. Like, dude, that shit is super nerdy. I'm saying, like, I know it's your inner nerd, but nerds make stuff that people like. You know what I mean? Like the Revenge of the Nerds. But I am in a certain way. I was raised a nerd because I had no choice but to be a nerd because I was black. So I was with the nerds because I was black, right? It's the outcasts, because it was always black, was always white people around me. So then, hey, Billy Paul, I never have to pause. I never have to pause. But on the real, they talk about puffy nipples all the time. Pause. He said, if that's true, I get the talking medical term. People look at crazy. That's true. I get the talking medical terms. People look at crazy. I'm not sure what you mean, Brandon. Clear that up a little bit for me. WBA Super Anthony Joshua World Champion Mahmoud Carr. WBA Gold Robert Helenius. That's a lot of WBA champions. Trevor Bryan, WBA intern. Povetkin's promoter paid WBA for the mandatory. You know that's how that works. Said noobs don't do that shit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. I can't do that shit. Like, I can't do that shit. Like, I can't do that shit. Dog, my noobs would be, yeah, it's like, nah, that was beat out of me for sure. That was never in me, but it was definitely beaten to a point where if it was, it would have never been again. Like, nah, dog, we don't fuck around like that. Like, I don't even look like, Dog, I care about the fact that motherfucking hook looked crazy. Like, I could tell this, like his hook, I don't want to get hit by that. Because I didn't realize, like when I see that proper technique, that like where his forearm is like parallel, I was like, damn, that's just like a bat. Like just the way he had his arm positioned when that punch landed, I was like, damn, dog. Jameson Gilmore say, we in here. Yeah, dog, like we don't do that shit. Like we smoke the dope, we drink the wine, noop, motherfucker. It's party time. Do this. We ain't them, yeah. I don't really roll like that. You know what I mean? Ugas versus Danny. Tell me that's not a fire fight. It is. That's a fire fight. Absolutely it is. It's an incredible fight. Love it. Love the idea of the fight. See something. Let me see something. Make sure I got to refresh this. Saturday morning. What a beautiful thing, man. It did a little bit longer show. Hold on one second. Yeah. All right, man. Look, I'm going to get off so somebody else can do a morning show at 10 because I went a full 2 hours. Oh, I went just short of 2 hours. That's going to be the Saturday morning, and Sunday we'll be back. But just so I try to be, I know somebody's going to want to go on pretty soon. Said them skinny nerd chicks also fill out and get nice and thick as adults. Let me tell you something about them. You guys make such a big mistake. Okay, I have to because my wife can hear everything I'm saying. So, but I'm gonna say it. But I'm still gonna say it quietly. Y'all make some big fucking mistakes with them nerdy chicks. Okay, you think that the chicks with the tattoos and the wild talk and all that are the freaks? They are not. Okay, they are not the freaks. The freaks are the ones in dental school. The freaks are the ones in medical school, in law school. Those are the freaks. I have never in my life experienced crazier chicks than them. It ain't all trust me. No. No, they got tattoos too. I'm saying it's not the tattoos. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying it's not the tattoos. It's not just out there like you look like it, right? Not everybody advertises that shit. But the ones that don't advertise it because they got to go to business functions, dog, they are repressed as shit. So that shit just goes boom. I'm trying to tell you. He said true. They put their dog. I'm trying to tell you. It's something to that band shit. Saw that movie back in the day? They were like the band girl. They were like the band in band. They kill it in band. Dog, they killing it in them schools. Appreciate your great content and dreams you be dropping. Very informative, educational stuff. Thank you, D-Bell. But anyway, see, there you go. Oh, Lord, there you go. Always good to know. Say, keep it that way. Gotta keep it that way. Say, get this smoke. God. He said, my boy Fannon had to get low for just for a second because, I don't want to be too crazy with it. I want to keep it, I want to keep it R-rated. I don't want to get it anywhere above R-rated. As long as I keep it R-rated, I think we're good. But I'm just saying, dog, don't underestimate for you young dudes, dog, don't miss out on them colleges and universities, man. I'm telling you, don't miss out on them, man. Y'all are missing some good people from your neighborhood. Like, you're missing some good people from your neighborhood. Because these people live where you from. They from the same areas, dog. But if you talk to them, you be like, well, they'll say shit like, well, you know, when I was like 16, I got in some trouble, or like the rest of my friends were getting in trouble. So I just stopped hanging out. I stopped going to parties. So that's what like people on the South, like there's a bunch of them on the South Side like that, Chicago. Like I've just stopped going out because, you know, I wanted to hang out with my friends and all that, but you know, that was going to get in trouble and I was going to go to college and my parents were on me. They ain't no different. Dat Ratter, go away, dog. You're out of here, dude. We've been talking boxing for 2 hours. Fuck off. I can't stand that shit. Goodbye. Dog, I've been talking boxing for 2 hours, man. Tell me this shit, man. You going to the fight in Noop in Dallas? I'm coming from Killeen. You from Killeen, Texas? My boy's from Killeen. My partner's from Killeen. You know that, hey, I'll just say this. You know the Hamiltons from Killeen? Jameson Gilmore, you know any Hamiltons in Killeen? I always want to tell me what to talk about. Don't give no super chats. I'm gonna wait for that answer, Jason. But yeah, man, I know some real good people, man, from Killeen, Texas. Buzz power is way underrated. Facts. I'm so tired of hearing Bud too small. I don't think that's real, man. I don't think anybody should say that Bud's too small. Bud can make that fight. Bud can win those fights. Bud's a welterweight at this point, man. Like, dog, it's not a doubt he's a welterweight. I think that shit's just gone, dog. You know what I mean? I'm in Texas. Perfect place for me. But look, I didn't see my man. But look, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Thank you guys so much for your support today. I am going to holler at y'all tomorrow morning for OG Boxing Talk. Well, not OG Boxing Talk, but me and Drew are going to do our show tomorrow morning. Hey, Mark Green says, man, I feel like nobody is beating Pacquiao. He just on another planet. No, Marky, you're on another planet. Everybody, every dude, Errol Spence is going to slaughter him. No, I'm not keeping it boxing, dog. I'm blocking motherfuckers that asked me to keep it boxing. Go away. Dog, I'm telling you right now, if you ask me not to talk, the minute you tell me that to get to talking boxing, I'm going to throw you away. I'm going to throw you out. Because, dude, when I talk about other things, I'm talking about boxing. Just because you don't catch it and don't see how it relates to boxing doesn't mean it's not boxing, dog. Okay? So I thought you was from New York. For now, not me. I'm from Chicago. Chi-town, baby. I'm from the Chi. We are not like New York. We are not New York. But I do respect New York, no doubt. He said you don't even have to explain yourself to these lames. Yeah, sometimes though, you got now that I'm not. I'm a nerd, but I ain't a lame. Now being a lame, that's something I don't respect being a lame. Being a lame, you need to go away. Like lames, you getting in the way of people having fun. So if I'm gonna be lame, I'm gonna leave. So like for an example, I went somewhere yesterday and I was sitting down at a table. I went to a strip club. This is a true story. I went to a strip club yesterday for lunch because they make good food, right? And I really like strip clubs, but I like the food. So I went to the food. I went there and I got this food for my family. I told everybody in my family too. I was like, hey, I'm going to the strip club to get some food. Y'all want something? And like, yeah, bring me a hamburger. So I bought 3 hamburgers. I bought 3 hamburgers and a chicken and chicken fingers for my family at the strip club. But when I was sitting there waiting for the food to get made at the strip club, I had to sit down. And when I sat down, I noticed that somebody I thought somebody for a second, I thought somebody had spilled some what do you call it? Like some equal, because it didn't look like sugar, but it looked like a sugar substitute. So I was like, damn, thinking somebody drank water. Why would they just why the fuck would they just pour their shit on the table like that? And then I thought for a second, yeah, just for the food. Just for the food. Just for the food, dog. Trust me, I ain't going to no strip club for nothing but the food, okay? Nothing but the food. However, so I was like, dog, what the fuck is that? I was like, then I was like, oh shit, I'm in a strip club. That might be some of that Tyson Fury over there. So you know what I did? I picked up my food. I moved over 2 tables and I set it down. And then just went on about waiting for my food. Because I was like, as it relates to that, I'm a lame. Okay? Well, as soon as I saw that shit there, I thought to myself, see why I don't come here? See why I don't come here? That's why I don't come here. And y'all say I just go for the food. I do go for the food because they give you better value with the food. Because they think that they're going to sucker you on the women. That's the scam. See, I don't think like that. I think I'm going to go in here and they have very, very good food. Why do they have good food? They have good food so people will come and they can make their money off the strippers. So I don't want to pay the strippers any money because I got a wife. She's in the room over there all day with me. Just for real. If I ever want to cop a feel, I got somebody in the house. Hey, B, and I'm cool. But why? Because I've seen so many strippers for so many years that it just, naked women do not affect me like that, just walking around. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, it just zip, you go right by me like that. You know what I mean? If you, now, somebody that might be outside of that club, I might get suckered, right? But not in there, you're not going to sucker me. This is a bunch of shiny fucking lights and women that just want to get paid, and it's cool. If you want to talk, you know what I'll do? The women that I always talk to at strip clubs are the women that bring me food because they seem like nice enough people. You get an honest conversation with them. You tip them, they bring you your food. Good food, you get up and you leave. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? When I was young, I saw it as something, maybe I'm sitting back at a club and I'll ball out and see everybody pouring this liquor. Nah, dude, I want to know how much money I'm walking out with that club with. I want to know how much money I'm walking out with. So if I get, say, a buffet that is worth $50 and all I got to do is pay $9 for the buffet, that's a fucking deal. I had 3 pieces of fucking prime rib. I had green bean supreme. I had some mashed potatoes with some fucking fire ass gravy. All of that shit for $9. And then I walk out. That ain't a problem. And you get to see some pretty women walk around. Or some women that ain't that pretty. You know what I mean? But really, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if, on the other hand, you were serious about it, then that type of shit, you could go there too, but not like that. Don't be no sucker, dog. Like, said, Fannon, why the move to Houston from the Chi? I didn't move to Houston from the Chi. I moved to Austin, and I moved there from the Kansas City area because that's where my wife got her PhD. So I can work remotely. Doesn't matter. My clients are in Chicago and this stuff that I do, right? Which now earns a good amount of money. So between my job and then the income that I have from this, it doesn't matter where I live. So I can live wherever she lives. So she's a professor at a university. So we just picked up and moved here. There's no income tax in the state of Texas. So I immediately gave myself a raise. I believe in giving myself raises. And if you can't get more money, you can at least go somewhere where it costs less money to live. And that's my take on it. But look, man, I have overstayed my welcome today. And I'm going to get up out of here. Much love to everybody. Why no LA? Because it costs too much. And LA dudes is crazy. I don't understand LA dudes. I don't understand California people. I don't understand them, and it makes me nervous. Like, to tell you the truth. Like, I understand New York people, so I feel like I can move there and I understand it. California, I don't understand. And the reason I say I don't understand, number one, I've never spent a lot of time there. And your accent throws me off. Because the most hood dude in California sounds like a suburbanite in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't get it. So like, I know I can't read people from LA. Like, I can't read them. And that throws me off. So when I can't read people, it makes me feel funny. That's why I don't really rock. That's why I don't really like like California is off to me, a little off. And that's just because I don't really. And then the dudes that I have known from LA, me and them didn't jive real well. Kind of like dudes from New York and New York and Atlanta and Georgia don't really mix very well. Like dudes from California, there's that pimping culture. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes I get dudes from like LA, and I'm telling you, I don't know you dudes. I don't know you. I don't know. I've never been there. I don't know the culture. I don't know like the geography of it. I don't get it. There's solid brothers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? There's solid brothers everywhere. But I'm saying, but to know, like, when I hear MC8 sound like a suburbanite, I know he's not. Yeah, Chicago has pimping culture, but dog, they don't try to pimp me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it has that culture, but don't try to pimp me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm impervious to pimping. Like, the pimping, because it's a value proposition, dog. I mean, am I a solid brother? Tell me from outside of here, dog. Solid enough to throw you the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. I'm me, nigga. I ain't got to worry about whether I'm a fucking solid brother or not. You figure that shit out, lazy motherfucker. Fuck out of here, dude. Am I a solid dude? I don't know. I'm solid with myself. Go ask somebody if I've screwed them, and you can see if I'm solid or not. See, I can go find cats. If you can go find somebody got hustled, hustlers in Chicago, dog, but they ain't hustling me. Hustling's in Chicago, but they ain't hustling me. What else can I say? Ain't no nigga from Chi running game on me. None. Not a single one, dog. Not a single one. You're going to have leverage over me to make some shit happen. That's it. The only way you're going to ever move me is if you have leverage over me. And the best leverage to have over me is my desires. But you're not going to pimp me. Like, it's not going to happen. So when cats do that slick talk and talk, blah, 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 it don't, that shit just goes. It just flows off my ears. Because all I'm interested in is what exactly do you want? What exactly do you want? And I'm looking for what you want. I talked to a guy, and I'm not going to say who he is. But dog, this dude impressed me like, what do you want? Like, dude, he answered the phone like that. All right, what do you want? I can respect that. Hey, man, can you talk to me? No response. I can respect that. Because that's not playing. He's not playing. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing. It's not like, oh, he's moving this way. Should he be moving that way? No. He's just, what do you want? And then right there, you know what you want. Of course, everybody wants, because everybody's doing something based on their self-interest. So when people try to deflect their self-interest, or see, also, I do believe, and I don't know the true relationships of the, and when I'm saying pimping me, I'm not talking about real pimping. Okay. I'm not talking about women and men. Okay. I'm not talking about that. That is a culture and a relationship that I have no idea about. And I mean that. Like, there's something that women get out of that men are giving them. Those women are not stupid, right? Because they're smart enough to run game. So since they're smart enough to run game, they're smart enough to know game. So how do you work cat? How does a cat, you must be putting them down on game. I just don't know. So I don't make those comments about that. What I mean when I'm talking about you ain't pimping me means is you're not going to give me anything for free that I know is worth real money. Because if you're giving me something that's worth real money for free, you want something in return. And what is that? And as long as you can do that, it's very hard. And you have your own ethics and your own sense of what you do and your own ground. Like, I'm not going to mistreat black fighters. So you're not going to pimp me beyond that. Like, when you ask me to do something and then it involves mistreating black fighters or fighters in general, you're going to run right into that wall, right? Because it doesn't matter how you phrase it. It matters the action that I'm being requested to do. And that's why I say I don't understand. Like when I say I don't understand California dudes, I just don't understand them. But I understand people from Chicago because I spent time there. You know, I've spent time. Yeah, you thought I ended. Sometimes I go over, man. He said, true Californians I met seem very vague when talking to them. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I just don't. Like I've met LA dudes and I know LA dudes, they just couldn't fucking stand me, dog. Like couldn't stand me. And I just didn't understand what it was. But when an entire group of people don't like you, there's something about you that they don't like. It's not going to be just them. It's going to be something about me that doesn't mix well with them. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's not going to mix well for people in Chicago. Okay, I know that. I know that if you approach people in Chicago the way, or you try to do business in Chicago the way you try to date, or you better yet, you try to do business in Atlanta the same way you do it in New York, you're going to come into problems with like old established Atlanta, because that's not how they do business. You know what I mean? They're not going to be straightforward with you. You think that everything's gold and it's not. You know what I mean? Versus in somewhere else, from my experience in New York, they'll tell you straight to the cuff, the fuck out my face. You know what I mean? Like they'll be real blunt with it, but some people won't. You get it. Yeah, see, like Bishop Magic Don Juan. Oh, Bishop Don Juan was taught by a woman. Yeah, see, I won't even get into that. Like that. Because like I said, that's not my area. And I know people that are pimping. So I don't want to be like say things because that may offend people that I know and say something I really don't understand. So I just wanted to make sure I differentiated the difference between what I mean and what they're referring to. I'm not talking about cats with the rollers in their hair or people that are doing it in different ways. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just trying to accomplish it, right? And you have an objective, they have an objective, and your objective and their objective may clash sometimes. You know what I mean? Some people be real quiet and never mention it, and just it don't bother them at all. Other people get real like it's either you riding with me and you 100% team me, and that's it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. But look, man, I'm going to get out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chats. We'll be back the best. Love it. But I'm a homebody. It's me, my dogs. It's me and my dogs, you know? Said Kane Bag, I say women treat men how to treat them in that life. Women teach men how to treat them in that life. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't even know. That's why I want to stay away from that and differentiate the two. Go check out 78. 78 knows that shit. 78 knows that. 78 can tell you that. But if you're telling me that women teach men how to treat them in that life, there you go. So they're like, you're just the strong man. So if that's what it is, if you become the strong man to a group of women and it's behaving like a pride or something, okay. But anyway, I got to get out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat. He said he used to come around my neighbor in Chicago on the west side like every other week. He pull up in a Breen Cadillac on gold spoke rims. Yeah, man, west side. West side is the best side. Anyway, with that, I'm out. Peace. Oh, Maurice Brugg said you get robbed in the Midwest acting like an LA person. Yeah, man, for sure. And definitely play around up there in Nebraska like that. The Kansas City dudes, those dudes are very, very real. Kansas City dudes, Omaha dudes, those dudes are real. But I'm out of here. Peace.